So, this is kind of the last of our segments on basic puppetry. You've been working in small groups for a couple of weeks now, and next week we're going to be doing a demo. So I want you to be ready for that. And what we're actually going to ask you to do is to actually present the song that you've been working on over the last few weeks. Um, but tonight, on this segment, I just want to talk to you a little bit about choreography. And that's kind of how you organize the movements of all the puppets, getting them to coordinate together to make it look like a presentation. Sometimes when we do a song together, all the puppets will just come up on the stage. They're all standing in the same positions, and they're all just mouthing the words exactly the same. So in choreography, you want to decide, how can we make this interesting rather than just having puppets sit um, up on the stage and move their mouths together? Can we make it interesting for the kids who are going to be watching? So there are a couple things that I want you to think about. I want you to take the song that you're going to do, play it through, and really listen to it. Don't use any puppets, just listen to it. And then as you're listening to it, you may agree together as a group that there are some key words that need some motions. Just like if you were going to stand as a group and sing the song, there may be some motions that you want to do. If you're talking about God, you may want to all lift your hands together to God. If there's something about your heart, you may want to put your hands on your heart. If you're talking about all or everything, you may want to just open the arms of the puppet out. So you just kind of look for what are some basic things we could probably all do together, just as a hand motion. Maybe we look up into the sky and we lift our hands. Maybe we prayerfully all look down together, or how we're going to end. So just listen to the song and see if there are any natural things that you could be doing that follow the words of the song. Then you may want to then identify some characters. Maybe there's a lead voice in the song, and okay, somebody needs to be that lead voice. If it's a boy voice, then you want to have a boy puppet doing that, and maybe there's a guy and a girl who are the lead, and then there's some choir, there's some other members. So identify which puppet looks like it would be that character, that voice in the song. So begin to assign parts. Then you want to kind of practice with your puppet, listening to that song, hearing your puppet character's voice, and then learning to sing when that voice is singing, not when the lead person is doing the singing. So you want to make some assignments, and you've agreed on some motions, and now you know who the roles belong to, and so you can practice the song. Another thing you can do after you've kind of gotten the words down and some basic motions, you can decide on movement. Something to make it interesting, so you're not always doing the same thing. I've seen puppets decide that they're going to kind of alternate and going up and down, or they'll all do a motion together. They'll all sing moving one direction, and then they turn and they all move another direction. There's sometimes when all the characters come running to the center and they're all kind of grouped up in the middle singing, and then they, at another part of the song, all disperse back to their parts. If you're doing 2 rows, maybe some of the puppets come up on the top row and sing, and then when they go down, the ones on the bottom row come up. So think about things to make it interesting, just in the way that you move around. So try to use the whole stage and not just stay in your own little place. That's going to take some coordination behind the curtain, because a lot of you will be on your knees or sitting in a chair, and so moving is a little more difficult. So take that into consideration too. The movement may only be that all the puppets move like 2 steps this way and then 2 steps that way, so you can still do it while you're standing in your place. But think about movement. Think what you could do. And then the last thing that I want you to think about is props. Is there something that you can bring up? Maybe it's a word, maybe it's a big heart, maybe a little umbrella, maybe they have instruments. Is there a prop that you can use to make it a little more interesting? Again, you don't want it to be an umbrella through the whole song, but let that be a surprise. That prop can come up during one part of the song and then go away, and they're going, well, that was cool, what was that? Or Just be creative in the way that you do it. It's not everything all at one time. You want to save some surprises and continue to make it interesting, especially if the song has a lot of repetition. Think of some creative ways to do it. There is no one way to do a puppet song. You can be as creative as you would like to be. Try different things. We're going to give you some time tonight to kind of talk together and plan together and be creative and see what you can do to bring some life to the song that you've been working on. I'm excited for you. I can hardly wait for us to go out and do some outreach together. Thanks for going along on this journey with us. Keep practicing.